there, mums and dads. Well, today I want to talk to you about a really powerful strategy that has become a part of our family life, and it is called the money moments. Now, before I explain the money moments to you, I want to take a step back and just remind you that my goal in this course is to help make money discussions a fun and natural part of everyday life. This course, if you like, is an icebreaker to help you have the confidence, the knowledge, the tools, the resources, the support you need to start talking to your kids about money. So we want to go from a situation where perhaps money is just one of those taboo subjects that we just don't talk about, or we don't have the time to talk about, or we don't have the confidence to talk about, to being a natural and fun part of everyday life. I want this course to be that bridge between those two scenarios, because once we get to fun and natural part of everyday life, then we get to the money moments. And this is a way that I teach, particularly my two eldest children, so Hannah and Holly. This is the way I teach them on a day-to-day basis, and to a lesser degree Lockie, because he's just a little bit younger, but it is through money moments. So what I'd like to do is share with you some of the money moments that have come up just recently, and a couple that I really love that I use all the time as stories. So what is a money moment? It is simply a day-to-day opportunity that just pops up, a scenario that pops up and you go, hey, this is a great opportunity to teach something, some little important principle about money. So let's have a look. Just this morning, so let's start over here. Now, if any of you guys watch Friends, you will notice that all of their episodes are called The One About and then something. The one about Ross, I can't think, getting fired from his job, or something like that, the one where Chandler, but it all starts with the one about. So I thought, well, I'll use that here, because being the generation of mums and dads like me, you'll all remember Friends. The one about the accident waiting to occur. Just this morning, I was Saturday morning at the moment, my daughters both work, one of them at the local fruit markets, one of them at a veterinary practice. I drop my daughter firstly, Hannah, off at the fruit and veg markets. We do the fruit and veg shopping, and then I take Holly to work at the vet practice. As we were turning out of a street onto a main road, there was a car coming. It put its left-hand indicator on. I nearly pulled out, but thought, hang on, doesn't look like it's slowing down. So I stayed where I was, and sure enough, it just went straight past, completely oblivious to the fact that it indicated it was just turning left, and then turned in into a driveway, 100 metres further down. Now, had I assumed that that car was going to turn left because it put its left-hand indicator on, which would be fair, we probably would have had an accident. This was a fantastic opportunity for me to talk to both Hannah and Holly in the car, who had seen that, because they're both starting to drive. Actually, Hannah already is driving, and Holly is learning to drive. It was a powerful opportunity for me to show them that we always need to think. We cannot always just assume when we're driving. If we just assume and we drive without taking into account that other people can make mistakes, then we're likely to get ourselves into an accident. Now, that's all about driving, not about money. But I wanted to make a point here that it's where it's relevant. Had I said that to Lockie, it probably wouldn't have meant nearly as much to him, because he is not driving yet. He's nowhere near driving yet. But for Hannah, who has just started driving by herself, and Holly, who's learning to drive, it was an incredibly important lesson. So what I want you to get out of this is not all driving lessons, all lessons, money moments, are going to be opportunities to teach all of your kids. It might be focused at a particular age group and a particular stage of life. Okay, but still, a moment in life to teach something very valuable to my girls. Then we've got the one about not sponsored by mum and dad. Now, if you've seen my training webinar, you will know that I've used this before. One of my coaches, Kylie, and you would have seen Kylie roundabouts on our membership site and Facebook group. Kylie drove up not so long ago behind a car, and on the back of that car was a sticker, not sponsored by Mum and Dad. Now, her daughter Claire, who has just bought her own car with her own cold hard cash, despite the fact all her friends have just been given their cars, she earned the money for her car. And when she saw that sticker, she was so proud. Kylie said she'd stuck her chest out and said, "That's me, Mum and Dad." And then that opened the door to fantastic conversation about debt, about the value of money, about all sorts of things. There was a 15-minute conversation that went on after that particular moment. Here, the one about the pool cover. Just this week, we've uncovered our pool for winter. We've decided that it's time to get it out. The weather's warming up. But as we were pulling the pool cover off, it's got so old that it started to tear and pull to pieces. So we decided it was the time for that pool cover to go to its special place. And so we had to decide how to dispose of the pool cover. Now, the pool people can come and get rid of the pool cover for us for about $100, or I sat with my girls and said, what do you think is a better deal here? We could pay someone to get rid of the pool cover, or we could take 15 minutes to cut up the pool cover into little squares, put it in the trash pack that gets collected once a month, and get rid of it that way. Which one do you think is a better deal? So the girls sort of looked at it and realised that, well, hang on, if it's only going to take us 15 minutes for one of us to do that, we are way better off doing that than paying $100 to get someone to take it away for us. So again, a really simple money moment for them to think about the value of their time and the value of money. The one about the treadmill. Just this week, and sorry, just so you know, all the ones with the little brown ticks on, or little brown asterisks, are ones that occurred this week. Just this week, I sold my treadmill. I bought this treadmill about 2 years ago. I used to be an elite distance runner. I had a couple of injuries. I was trying to get myself fit again, and the best way to do that was to have a treadmill at the time. I only really used it 10 to 15 times before I was right to start running again, and we decided to sell it. Now, the people that turned up to buy the treadmill, so selling it secondhand on a website, so a classifieds website called Gumtree, the people that turned up to buy it happened to have just sold a business for a huge amount of money. It was like a recycling business for a huge amount of money, and yet they were worth a lot, and yet here they were buying a second-hand treadmill. And I said to the kids, one of the things so often that defines the people that have the things that really matter and the people that never seem to get the things they really want is the fact that we're willing to buy things secondhand. We don't need the best of everything. We don't need to drive the fanciest cars. We don't need to have the fanciest clothes. We don't need to have the expensive holidays. We can so often find cheaper options, which is exactly what these people are doing, despite the fact they could easily have afforded to go out and buy themselves a $10,000 treadmill instead of a $300 treadmill. So again, a really good example of a money moment for everyday life. Just this week, I got a letter in the mail because I'm registered as a business. Letter in the mail offering me a business loan. The kids laughed. I said, hey kids, look at this. The kids laughed at this because they know my stance on debt. And we talked. It was just another little opportunity to explain that if I was a business that was struggling, for me to take on a debt, or if I was a business was still ramping up my cash flow, for me to take on a debt would actually mean that it would make it even harder for me to make my cash flow work. Another great discussion. And then the one about the formal dress. We have a friend, and we did exactly the same thing, that has just bought her formal dress. It was a cheaper formal dress. Instead of spending $600, $700, $1,000, whatever they spend on the formal dresses, this one cost her $200. It was a beautiful dress. They brought it to my wife, Leanne, who's really good with sewing and those sorts of things. She made a couple of adjustments to it, and she now has a formal dress that is absolutely beautiful and only cost her a couple of $100 and a small gift of thank you to Leanne for doing it for her. Money moments all the time, that there are so often easier, cheaper, better ways of doing things that don't need to cost us a lot of money. We can teach through everyday opportunities. Now, these ones may seem really, really simple to you, and you go, are they really teaching a lot? They are. When you compound these asterisk ones, that's just this week. And none of them were difficult conversations that the kids didn't want to hear, but there were powerful lessons in all of them because every single one of them had a story attached to it. So mums and dads, this is what we want to graduate to, is everyday money moments. And some of them are going to be far more significant than others, but take them as they come. As you start to look for them, you will see them everywhere. It is like when you decide you're going to buy a blue Honda. You buy that blue Honda and then you see blue Hondas absolutely everywhere. It is the same with money moments. Start looking for them and you will see them all over the place, and it makes teaching your kids about money so very easy.